Okay, Coach, coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Side, and he's got a man. It's Saunders. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On second down now, Mosley. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, there'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They'll run on first down. Mosley, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Jabril Peppers, a former first-round pick, there on the coverage. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10.
On the ready. Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot. 54.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. To throw on 2nd down. Rutherford going to take a shot for Gallup. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for the Lions. 56 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this, they were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Meanwhile, here, a run on first down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
Here we go, set, 30 base.
Defense wins championships, baby.
Get it.
Looking to throw on second down. Rutherford. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Finds the open target, Arnold. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Check nine, check nine. Squeeze, get in there. Just see it. Go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. On the crossing route, complete. That's Saunders. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. On first down, Mosley. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
It's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Operating from the gun. Rutherford. Got Gordon open, completes it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They
work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Yeah. Hey, exit.
Mike 5-4.
Shoot.
Throwing again. Rutherford. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Set. 60 or.
Tackles.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. He's going to take off with it. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Ready? Hey, Haywood.
Takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. It's their quarterback. His first touchdown on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. On play action, they'll throw. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 39-yard line.
90, Wolf.
Tight end right.
Five.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Here's Jones on the return. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They'll try and punch it in. Gordon, and he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
On 2nd down, Mosley. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Gonna look deep for Wilson, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let him play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Off play action. Rutherford. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And he fires one that's intercepted. Isaac Yiadom in there to pick it. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now. Showing the other team that he's
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. They'll look to throw here. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
First down, Minnesota.
Got it. 50, Mike. 50. You're not ready. You're not ready.
They'll run on first down. Mosley. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half, because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
On third down, Mosley. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. 3rd and medium. They opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down.
And the Vikings first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
6 guard. Check 6 guard. Hey, 1 set. Check right. Let's go.
2nd and 10. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 19. On first down, Mosley. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. 2nd and 11. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Right there, 54.
From the gun, Rutherford. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but hold on, let's finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Not open, that's Damian Ratley. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A big pickup of 38. This is first and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number one. This is first and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Squeeze. Get in there. I got one. Hatchet. Ready.
He'll look to throw. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal.
54. Mike 54.
Second and 4. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. He'll let it go deep for Foster. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play there for Detroit. 54 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Rutherford. That's going to be caught. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 25 yards that time. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Ready. Watch left. Go, go, go.
From the gun, Rutherford. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. He stepped right up like a pro.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now this time he'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Now we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. On the return, it's White. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Rutherford, he'll buy some time right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now he's going to let this go for the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and long.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Go!
Operating from the gun, Rutherford. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
And very little daylight there. They'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Looking to throw. He gets it to Humphries. No gain there, and it's going to bring up a third down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Back to throw here. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
Now this throw caught left side. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle. And that's going to tack on 15 more. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Rutherford under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Looking to throw. Rutherford buying time to his left. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Rashad Evans, the linebacker, recording the sack there.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer. Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta. That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And into the end zone, a scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. Lambeau on for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll try the left side. Mosley. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now back to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Lions will take over. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call? Is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. This is Gordon as they go to him again. There goes Melvin Gordon. Touchdown, Detroit. Melvin Gordon with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau, and the lead will swell by 1 more. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He'll drop to throw. His throw incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
Lonnie, 15, Lonnie. 54, back 54. I got you, boy. Alpha.
Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike.
Get him, get him, get him. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Let's go.
They'll set up to throw. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
I got you.
Watch that. Exit.
Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4.
They'll look to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Deshaun Hamilton, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that will get him one closer. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The Lions take over first
We got
and 10
this.
at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So they say we'll let that completed pass stand, and we'll bring up third down instead as they decline it.
So they're comfortable with the yardage. The big thing to them is what you pointed out, getting it to third down and making a play there.
He's tight right here. He's tight. Go. 3 down.
Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. On the return is Jones. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And that'll be incomplete. The flag was down, so they took a shot, thinking it's on the defense. Let's see. Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Let's go, baby.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 39. And the return will stop right around the 25. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal.
Ready.
And they take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. On is Josh Lambo for the field goal try.
A 30-yard attempt.
And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late point.